happy. Once there was a crow who wishes to be colorful and beautiful like other birds. He then went to the parrot and shared his thoughts. But parrot said, "Peacock is most beautiful bird, so talk to him." Then the crow went to the peacock and told him about his looks. Then the peacock replied, "You are the luckiest bird that has been never caged in life, and we because of our beauty stay caged, and you are always free." After listening to this, Crow realized his mistake and thanked God for making him like this, and he flew away happily. Moral: never compare yourself to others. Be happy in what you have and what you are. Two Friends and the Bear. Once there were two friends who were crossing the jungle. After some time they saw a bear coming towards them. Then, one of the friends quickly climbed the nearby tree and the other one did not know how to climb the tree. So he lays down on the ground holding his breath. The bear reaches near him and sniffs him in the ear. After some time bear left the place, thinking the man is dead. Now the other friend climbs down and asked his friend, what did bear said to him in his ear? He replied, "To be safe from the fake friends." Moral: beware of fake friends.
Transform your life with the timeless teachings of Buddha. Today's story is The Four Friends and the Jewel. Once upon a time in a small village, there were four friends who lived together. One day, they discovered a precious jewel in the nearby forest. Each friend had a unique skill. One was wise, one was strong, one was kind, and one was a skilled communicator. They decided to keep the jewel safe by taking turns guarding it. The wise friend suggested, "Let's each take turns holding the jewel and use our skills to protect it." As days passed, the friends realized that the jewel was more secure when they worked together. The strong friend could defend it, the wise one could make strategic decisions, the kind one could calm any conflicts, and the skilled communicator could convey their unity to others. The moral of the story is that true strength lies in unity and collaboration.
The Tale of the Wise River. In a valley surrounded by mountains, a river flowed with wisdom. It whispered ancient secrets to those who listened. One day, a curious wanderer asked the river, "How can one find true happiness?" The river replied, "Happiness is a reflection. To find it, you must first fill your heart with the happiness of others." Inspired, the wanderer shared joy with fellow travelers. As the river mirrored their smiles, the valley echoed with laughter, proving that true happiness is found in the happiness of others. Moral: the river of happiness flows when we share joy with others, creating a ripple effect of positivity in our lives and the lives of those around us. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.
The Caring Tree. In a lush forest, there stood an ancient tree known as the Caring Tree. It had the ability to absorb the worries and sorrows of any creature that leaned against its trunk. One day, a troubled bird perched on a branch, burdened by life's challenges. The tree gently whispered, "Share your worries with me." As the bird poured out its troubles, the tree absorbed the weight. Over time, animals from all corners sought solace from the Caring Tree. As they shared their burdens, the tree grew stronger. The once troubled creatures left feeling lighter, carrying a lesson that sometimes, sharing our troubles makes them easier to bear. Moral: a caring heart can provide comfort and strength to others, making burdens lighter for everyone. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.
The Greedy Traveler and the Hungry Tiger. A poor man had a sad encounter with a tiger. "Don't be afraid. Come near and see what I have," the tiger said. When the man went near the tiger, he saw a gold bangle. He wished to get the gold bangle. He thought, "I will sell the gold bangle and look after my family." The tiger said to the man, "I can give you this gold bangle only if you promise to feed me." But as soon as he took the bangle, the man ran away. When he reached his village and showed it to the goldsmith said, "Where did you get this fake gold bangle? It is of no use." The man was sorry for what he had done.
Moral: greed can bring a lot of trouble for us.
The Lion and the Mouse. One day a lion was sleeping in front of its cave was awakened by a mouse running over his face. Rising up with anger, he caught the mouse and was about to kill him. Then, the mouse interrupted saying, "If you would only spare my life, I would be sure to repay your kindness." The lion laughed and let him go. It happened shortly after this that the lion was caught by some hunters, who bound him by strong ropes to the ground. The mouse, recognizing the lion's role, came and gnawed the rope with his teeth, and set him free. The mouse then told the lion, "You didn't expect to receive any repayment of your favor. Now you know that it is possible for even a mouse to help out a lion." From that day, the mouse and the lion became friends. Moral: a kindness is never wasted.
The foolish donkey. One day, a farmer let the donkey loose at night, so that he could graze the fields. As the donkey was eating, he befriended a fox. The fox said, "Let us go to that match field and enjoy more food." The donkey agreed. As they were grazing, the donkey turned to the fox and said, "I feel like singing." "Are you foolish? You will wake the farmers of this field," the fox said in his harsh voice. The donkey did not listen to the fox. Just as he was about to begin, the fox left him and went behind the nearby bushes. With the loud braying of the donkey, the farmers of the match field came running. They spotted the donkey and beat him up blue. Moral: we must know the proper place and time for doing the things we want. The snake and the ants. A long time ago, there was a poisonous snake. All the tiny creatures living around were scared of him. Proudly he thought to himself, "I am the most powerful of all. Everybody is scared of me." One day, he saw an anthill near the hole in which he lived. He was outraged. He decided to destroy the ugly anthill and attacked it. As he was about to attack the anthill, one of the ants saw him. He quickly went inside and warned everybody. Within moments, thousands of ants came out and bit the snake all over his body. The snake couldn't bear the pain and ran away. Moral: the pride takes you to a fall. The greedy little bird. One day a greedy bird went to the queen bird and told her about some bullock carts. She said, "It is unsafe to go there, as any bird might get hit by the wheels." The queen bird told the others not to go there. The greedy always went alone. One day it got hit by the wheels of the cart and lay injured. When he did not return, the other birds looked for him and found him poorly hurt on the village road. The queen said, the bird had suffered because of its greed. Moral: a greedy and selfish person always suffers. Copycat crow. Once, there was a hungry falcon and she sat on the cliff for a very long time in the hope of spotting prey. The falcon saw a rabbit and flew down on it and caught it. A crow sitting on a tree saw this style of the falcon and was very impressed with falcon's skills. He started to practice like the falcon to sweep low and fly high. After some days, the crow felt confident to try his new skills. He too saw a rabbit hopping below the tree. He swept down at the rabbit but missed it, and his head crashed hard on the ground. After that day, the crow decided never to copy the falcon and use only his skills. Moral: never copy others. The fox and the grapes. One afternoon a fox was walking through the forest and spotted a bunch of grapes hanging from over a lofty branch. Just the thing to quench my thirst, he thought. Taking a few steps back, the fox jumped and just missed the hanging grapes. Again the fox took a few places back and tried to reach them but still failed. Finally, giving up, the fox turned up his nose and said, "They're probably sore anyway," and proceeded to walk away. Moral: It's easy to despise what you cannot have. The boy who cried wolf. A boy had a duty to look after a flock of sheep. One day he started shouting, "Wolf, wolf, wolf," for the sole purpose of fun. On hearing him, the villagers rushed to his help. What started as a figment of his imagination became his hobby, and he started fooling the villagers. One day, when a wolf really came, nobody came, and as a result, the sheep were killed. There was no one to blame but him. Moral: never lie, no matter how bad the situation is. The Fox and the Crow. Once upon a time, a clever fox spotted a crow sitting atop a tree branch. The crow held a tasty piece of cheese in its beak. The fox, wanting to have the cheese for himself, thought of a cunning plan. He flattered the crow, saying how beautiful its voice was, and asked if it could sing for him. Flattered, the crow opened its beak to sing. As the crow cawed, the cheese fell from its beak. The fox quickly grabbed it and ran away, leaving the crow feeling tricked and foolish. Moral: beware of flattery, as it may cloud your judgment and lead to a loss. The Crow and the Hunter. A flock of crows lived on a banyan tree. A witty crow also lived in the same tree. One day, the witty crow saw a hunter coming to that tree. He spread many grains on the ground, planning to cast his net when the crows ate the grains. The crow flew to warn the other crows of the danger in their path. He said, "There is a hunter who has spread grains on the ground to catch you all. Do not go there." But the crows ignored his warning and started feeding on the grains. Just as they had begun to eat, a net fell around them. The hunter's trick worked and the crows were caught. Moral: never ignore advice that can be useful. The Snake and the Foolish Frogs. There lived an old snake near a pond. Because of old age, the snake had become very weak. In the pond lived many frogs. One day, the Prince of Frogs, when saw the old snake, thought of helping him. He took the snake to his parents. The King and Queen Frogs took good care of the old snake. In just a few days, he was strong and swift again. And he started eating the frogs. At last one day came when only the 3 frogs remained. The wicked snake hunted them too. Moral: stay away from the bad.
The Sick Lion. A zebra came to visit the sick Lion King. On getting close, he said, "Your Majesty, you have a bad breath." This made the lion angry and he ordered him to leave the forest. The hyena saw all this and got scared. He remarked over the pleasant smell all around. The lion said, "I am not stupid." He asked him to leave the forest. Finally, the lion went to the clever fox for his thoughts. The fox saved himself by saying, "My nose is blocked due to cold, so I cannot smell a thing." Moral: be smart enough to get out of a situation.
The Jackal and the Empty Drum. A hungry jackal wandered by a big drum lying under a tree. When the wind blew, a lowly branch struck the drum, producing drumbeat. The jackal thought that there was an animal inside. If only I could tear the skin, I could eat the animal. So, he began to beat the drum hard. The noise brought a leopard over. The jackal said, "There is some animal hiding here. Since you have sharp claws, you can tear off the drum top and catch that animal." With one heavy blow, the leopard burst the drum open, but there was no animal inside. The angry leopard roared, "You have wasted my time. Now, I will eat you." And he did just that. Moral: greed is always injurious. The Lion and the Camel. Once there lived a lion with his 3 friends, a crow, a jackal, and a leopard. One day, a camel lost his way and met the lion. The camel asked, "Can I please stay here?" The lion welcomed his guest and let him stay with them. One day the lion fell very sick. He was unable to go on hunts. The lion's friend suggested to the lion, we should ask the camel to bring us food. But the lion did not agree and said, he does not belong to our forest. He may get lost deep in the forest. The camel heard him and said, you have been kind to me. I will go and look for food. All the animals praised the camel and the crow decided to help him. And they both went in search of food. Moral: always have the spirit of working together and be thankful to others for helping you. The sparrows and the elephant. An elephant once broke all the eggs of a sparrow couple. The sparrow couple became sad and thought, we must seek help from our friends. The crow couple, the frog, and the flies thought of a plan to teach the elephant a lesson. The next day, the flies flew near its ears, making a buzzing sound. The crow couple jumped down and bit the elephant in both the eyes, making him blind. Just then, the frog croaked. Thinking he was close to a pond, the elephant went in that direction, but he ended up falling into a deep ditch. Moral: always be careful about what you're doing. The wicked heron. One day, an evil heron caught a bluefish. The bluefish was very angry at the heron. The fish said to the heron, leave me at once, or else I will turn you into a tree, and you will never be able to eat us again. The heron did not believe the fish and still wanted to eat it. The fish said again, you have a lovely voice. Why don't you sing so that more fish will come near and you can eat all of them too? The heron agreed. As soon as the wicked heron opened its mouth to sing, the fish from his mouth jumped out and swam far away. Moral: if you are kind to others, you will be a happy person. The fox and the rooster. A fox was trying to catch a rooster. But the rooster spotted the fox and flew up to sit on a tree. My dear friend, why did you fly away from me? I just wanted to hug you, the fox said. You were coming to attack me, the rooster said. No, I wasn't. All the animals give hugs to each other all the time, the fox said. In that case, I see a herd of lions at a distance. Why don't you go and hug them too? The rooster said. Ah, you are brilliant. Your smartness has saved you today, the fox said, as he ran away. Moral: being smart will help us get through any problem. The ant and the grasshopper. Once, there was an ant who spent the warm months gathering and storing food for the winter. Meanwhile, a carefree grasshopper spent his days singing and enjoying the sunshine without a worry for the future. As winter arrived, the grasshopper found himself hungry and cold, with no food or shelter. Seeing the ant's well-stocked home, he asked for help. The ant kindly offered some food but also taught the grasshopper the importance of preparing for the future. Moral: prepare today for a better tomorrow. The ant and the dove. Once upon a time, in a dense forest, there lived an ant and a dove. One scorching day, the ant was struggling near a stream, unable to swim against the current. The compassionate dove observed this plight and quickly plucked a leaf, dropping it into the water. Gratefully, the ant climbed onto the leaf, and the dove ferried it to safety. Some time later, the dove found itself in a hunter's net. The ant, remembering the dove's kindness, quickly bit through the net's threads, freeing the dove. Moral: one good turn deserves another. The gift of listening. Once in a village, there was a wise elder named Maya. She had a special ability to listen with her heart. One day, a troubled young man named Sam approached her, burdened with worries. Maya, without interrupting, listened attentively. As Sam poured out his feelings, Maya sensed the weight lifting from his shoulders. Instead of offering solutions, she provided a compassionate ear. Grateful, Sam realized the profound gift of being heard. The moral: in a world filled with advice, sometimes the most powerful gift we can give is the simple act of truly listening.
Once upon a time there lived a lion in the forest. One day after heavy meal, It was sleeping under a tree. There came a mouse and it started to play on the lion. Suddenly the lion got up with anger and looked for those who disturbed its nice sleep. Then it saw a small mouse standing trembling with fear. The lion jumped on it and started to kill it, and the mouse requested the lion to forgive it. The lion felt pity and left it, and the mouse ran away. The lion was caught in a net by a hunter. The mouse came there and cut the net. Thus it escaped. The mouse and the lion became friends. They lived happily in the forest afterward. A farmer and his dog used to sit by roadside waiting for vehicles to come on. As soon as any vehicle came, farmer's dog would run behind and down the road, barking and trying to overtake it. Farmer neighbor used to see this, and one day out of curiosity he asked farmer, "Do you think your dog is ever going to catch a car?" Farmer replied, "That's not what I'm bothered about. What bothers me is whether he ever caught one." Moral: many people in life behave same way pursuing meaningless goals. Once in a small village, there lived a kind farmer who shared his harvest with everyone, even those who had little. One year, a severe drought struck, and many farmers faced loss. The farmer, however, continued to help his neighbors, sharing his crops and resources. As the drought ended, a surprising bounty came from his fields, richer than ever. The villagers, grateful for his generosity, realized that kindness often returns in unexpected ways. They came together to help the farmer during tough times, proving that compassion creates a cycle of support. Moral: kindness sown today can yield a harvest of goodwill tomorrow. Once, in a dense forest, a clever crow found a pitcher with a little water at the bottom. Unable to reach it, he had an idea that he picked up small pebbles one by one and dropped them into the pitcher. With each pebble the water rose a little higher, and eventually, the water reached the brim and the crow was able to quench his thirst. The moral of the story is that cleverness and persistence can help overcome challenges. A boastful hare challenged a slow tortoise to a race. Confident of winning, the hare took a nap midway. Meanwhile, the tortoise kept moving steadily and crossed the finish line first. The hare woke up too late, realizing that persistence can triumph over speed. Moral: slow and steady wins the race. Once upon a time in the lush, green jungle, there lived a cunning jackal. Hungry and desperate, the jackal ventured into a village. But when the villagers spotted him, they chased him away. In panic, he leapt into a vat of blue dye and emerged completely blue. Back in the jungle, the animals had never seen a creature like him. Pretending to be special, he declared himself their king. But one night, he howled like any ordinary jackal, and his secret was revealed. The animals, feeling deceived, chased him away. And so, the jackal learned, honesty is always best. Moral: pretending to be someone you're not will only lead to trouble. A man approached Buddha, furious and filled with anger. He began insulting Buddha, trying to provoke him to remain calm and unmoved. The man's anger began to fade, confused by Buddha. Buddha gently asked, if someone offers you a gift but you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong? It belongs to the person who offered it, and I do not accept your insults, then they remain yours. Moral: we don't have to accept anger, hatred, or negativity from others. By staying calm, we can let these things pass without allowing them to disturb our peace. A young shepherd boy in a small village watched over his sheep daily. One day, bored and seeking attention, he climbed a hill and shouted, "Help! A wolf is attacking my sheep." The villagers rushed to his aid, but found no wolf. The boy laughed, saying it was just a joke. A few days later, he pulled the same prank, calling, "Help! A wolf is attacking." Again the villagers came, and again there was no wolf. Then frustrated, they warned him not to lie. Then, one day, a real wolf appeared, and terrified, the boy shouted, "Help! A wolf!" But this time, no one came. The villagers ignored his cries, thinking it was another trick. The wolf attacked his flock, and the boy learned a hard lesson. Moral: when you lie, people won't believe you when you're telling the truth. One day villagers caught a ferocious tiger that had terrorized them, taking their cattle and even attacking children. They trapped him in a cage by the road, where people could see the wicked animal. The tiger was starving and begged every passerby to let him out, promising he wouldn't harm them. But no one trusted him yet, until a kind traveler came along. The traveler, believing in the tiger's promise, freed him. But as soon as the tiger stepped out, he pounced and threatened to eat his rescuer. The traveler reminded the tiger of his promise, but the tiger, hungry and fierce, ignored his words. Just then, a clever fox appeared, and hearing both sides, the fox said, "I don't believe such a big tiger could fit in that little cage." The tiger, eager to prove the fox wrong, went back into the cage, and quick as lightning, the fox slammed the door shut, and so the traveler was saved by the fox's wit, leaving the tiger to learn a lesson: never betray those who help you. Sometimes, a little kindness and a lot of cleverness can go a long way.
One day, a fierce storm swept through the forest. All the animals rushed to find shelter. A small sparrow, struggling against the strong winds, saw a mighty oak tree standing tall and proud. "Dear oak," the sparrow chirped, "may I rest on your branches until the storm passes?" The oak scoffed, "A tiny bird like you won't make a difference. Find your own shelter." Hurt but determined, the sparrow flew on and found a small, hollow bush. The bush welcomed her, offering safety among its leaves. As the storm raged, the oak stood firm, but the relentless winds uprooted it. Meanwhile, the sparrow and the bush survived, safe and sound. The next day, the sparrow looked at the fallen oak and whispered, "Kindness, not strength, stands the test of time." Moral: true strength lies in kindness and humility, not in pride.
One day, a young man came to Buddha, angry and upset. "Someone broke my favorite vase, and I am furious. I cannot let it go," he said. Buddha looked at him calmly and said, "Imagine you have a vase in your hand, and you drop it. It breaks, then do you feel angry at the vase or at yourself?" The young man replied, "I feel angry at myself for being careless." Buddha smiled. "Now, imagine your anger is like the broken vase. The longer you hold onto it, the more it causes you pain. Then let it go, and you will find peace again." Moral: holding on to anger only hurts you. Let go of what no longer serves you, and find peace within.
In a small village, a boy saw a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. Wanting to help, he gently cut the cocoon open. The butterfly came out but couldn't fly. A wise elder explained, "The struggle is necessary. It strengthens their wings." The boy felt sad, but learned an important lesson. That day, he helped in a different way. He guided his younger sister in tying her shoelaces. The elder smiled, saying, "Sometimes helping means teaching, not doing." Moral: true help empowers others to grow. The proud peacock and the wise sparrow. One day, a proud peacock was showing off his vibrant feathers in the forest. He mocked the sparrow, saying, "Your feathers are dull and boring." The sparrow smiled and replied, "But I can fly higher than you ever could." Just then, a hunter appeared. The sparrow flew high and escaped, while the peacock, unable to fly far, was caught. Moral: don't judge others based on appearances. Everyone has unique strengths. A disciple once asked Buddha, "Master, why do I feel so troubled?" Buddha handed him a glass of water and said, "Shake it." The disciple shook the glass, and the water became turbulent. Buddha asked, "Now let it sit." As the disciple waited, the water settled and became clear. Buddha smiled and said, "Your mind is like this water. When shaken by worries, it's unclear. Be still, and peace will return." Moral: inner calm comes when you let your mind settle, not by reacting to every disturbance. One day, a mighty lion was resting under a tree, boasting about his strength. "I'm the king of the jungle. No one can challenge me," he roared. Nearby, a tiny ant heard him and said, "Even the smallest creature can teach you a lesson, lion." The lion laughed. "You? Teach me a lesson? Impossible." The ant climbed onto the lion and began biting him. The lion roared and thrashed, unable to stop the tiny ant. Finally, the lion begged, "Stop, little one. I admit, even the smallest can be powerful." The ant stopped and said, "Never underestimate anyone, no matter how small they seem." The lion nodded, humbled by the tiny creature.
In a lively forest, a squirrel and a turtle were neighbors.
The squirrel loved to nap under the sun, while the turtle spent its days slowly planting seeds in the soil.
One day, the squirrel mocked the turtle, saying, "Why waste your time planting seeds? Just gather what's already on the trees."
The turtle replied, "The trees we enjoy today were planted long ago. I'm thinking about tomorrow." Seasons passed, and a storm swept through the forest, destroying many trees. The squirrel found itself hungry, with no food to gather. Meanwhile, the seeds the turtle had planted had grown into small fruit-bearing trees, providing food and shelter. The squirrel, regretful, said, I laughed at your hard work, but now I see its value. Moral: effort and foresight build a better future. Once upon a time, a dog was wandering through the village, feeling very hungry. After a long search, he found a juicy bone. Overjoyed, he picked it up and ran away to enjoy it in peace. On his way, he reached a river. As he crossed the bridge, he looked down and saw his reflection in the water. But the greedy dog thought it was another dog with a bigger bone. I want that bone too, he thought. He barked at the reflection, hoping to scare the other dog. But as soon as he opened his mouth, his own bone fell into the river and sank. The poor dog lost everything because of his greed. Moral of the story: greed can make you lose what you already have. One day a man came to Buddha crying, I'm suffering so much, please help me. Buddha handed him a rope and said, pull it. The man pulled. Now let go, Buddha said. The man released the rope and looked surprised as Buddha explained, your suffering is like this rope. You are holding on to it tightly. If you let go, your suffering will end. Moral: suffering comes from attachment.